Okay, this is the toothpaste cream making machine. And first of all, I will tell you what are these tanks used for. And for this one, the first one, this one is the main tank for mixing and homogenizing the material. In here, come closer. This part is a dispenser, and this one is the steering pedal, and this one is the homogenizer. Then we go to there. This one is the oil phase for the gale. Here. This one is the water tank, and this one is the powder tank for the powder mixing. And in here, we have a valve. This valve is for the outlet, and it is driven by the pneumatic. And each tank will have at least one valve like this. Here. Let's take a closer look in here, in the bottom of the main tank. This one is for the powder inlet. When we turn on the valve, and the powder will be sucked from the powder tank to this tank. And the second one is for the water, and this one is for the oil. And this one in the middle is for the outlet. And the outlet will be connected to here, to the rotor pump. And this rotor pump is not finished yet. And after we finish this rotor pump, we will have a controller in here to control this rotor pump to suck material from the tank directly to the storage tank. And now I will tell you here, introduce you about the heating function. And in here we have the steam generator, and the steam generator will be connected in here. Okay, after we connect the steam generator to this tank, then we will go to that side. When you want to use the steam heating function, remember, turn off these two valves. This two valves is for the cooling function, and then we turn on these two valves first to get the water out of the tank. For example, after we're using the cooling function, there will be some water in the jacket, so we need to get all the water out of the jacket first. So we need to turn on these two valves, and then we will turn on this valve for the steam heating. After the water are clean, then you can turn off this valve. But remember, this valve will need to turn on, still turn on, yeah. And after the temperature reach to the temperature you want, then you can turn off these two valves, the steam for the steam and this one together. Turn off. And when you are going to use the water cooling function to cooling the material, then you can turn on these two valves for the water cooling. Okay. Then we go to the next one. One is the water vacuum pump. And this vacuum pump will need to fill water in the pump. So there are two pipes. This pipe is for the water inlet, and this one is for the water outlet. And for this pipe, we will it is not finished yet. We will package it again later. So next we will go to here. because the homogenizer we use is the water recycle homogenizer, so you need to make sure there is water inside of this box. If there's no water in this box, the homogenizer may be damaged. So remember this: the water should be at least should be about. Here is a hole. Don't fill the water and reach out of this hole. Just in here, yeah. And when you want to get all the water out of this box, you can take off this pipe. This pipe here. The pipe in here, yes. Then you can use something else to get the water, and then you can clean the box. Just want to tell you, you need to make sure there's water inside of this. We'll go for these two functions first. This one is for air filters, because when we want to release the vacuum inside of this tank, we need to get some pure water, pure air inside of this tank. So you need to turn on this valve. Then the pure air will get inside of this tank to release the vacuum. And for this one is the watching window. You can see what's going on inside of this tank via this window. And this one, you can add some raw material to here, because in here we have a filter in here. When you fill some material here, it will be filled first, then get inside the tank. And this one is the pressure device, because sometimes when your material, the viscosity is very high, you need to get some pressure inside the tank to help it for the discharging system. And in here we have the LED light. And 走那边去吧，这边上去。And this one is the vacuum gauge, and this pipe is connected to the vacuum pump. So now we will test the machine first. So this one is for the oil phase mixing. So now I'll turn it on. Touch the red button to stop it. And this one for the water mixing. And in here, this one is for the emulsifying, for the tank, the main tank mixing. And after you turn on this one, you also need to touch this button in the middle. And then we can control the speed in here. And this one is for the homogenizer. And the homogenizing speed is controlled by here. And you also need to touch this button first. Make it control homogenizing speed. I'm going to test the vacuum function. Before we use the vacuum function, first of all, remember, turn off these two valves, because these two valves will, if you turn on these two valves, the air will get inside of the tank. So turn them off first. Okay? And after turning turn off, remember to turn this valve on. This valve is for the vacuum pump. And now we touch this button. See here. So we have a protection device for this vacuum function. If this black pointer is under the red one, you will not be able to turn on the vacuum function again. For example, now I turn it on, but nothing happened. So how do we turn it on again? We need to release the vacuum, and the black pointer must be on the top of the red one. So for example, now I release some vacuum. And after I release the vacuum, then the vacuum function will turn on automatically. Okay? Now turn on again. Okay, so next we will test this one for the dispenser. The dispenser is also the dispenser speed is also controlled here. Well, first of all, we need to touch this bottom and control the dispenser here. So this one is for the powder mixing, but now the powder tank is not connected to this tank, so now we cannot test it. And for this one is the hydraulic up, and this one is for the hydraulic down. And this one is for the tilting discharge system. And this one is for reset. And now I will introduce this function to you. This one is the air valve. The air valve means when you want to get some air pressure to this tank for discharge, then you will need to turn on this valve. But before we use this valve, we need to turn off this vacuum valve. And in here, come. Here is the pipe connected to the air compressor, and inside here we have the air filtration, and it will filter the air and to become the pure air. Then you can use the pure air to press the material. 这个再讲一下吧。And for this one, in here, sometimes after maybe maybe several days using this machine, inside of this part, maybe we'll have some material or water or something else inside here. So you will need to touch this one to get them out. Okay, 就这样。So now we go back to the platform. Okay, 还这里。And this valve, you must turn on this valve. Release the vacuum. Turn this device to the right side. 哎，杜哥，怎么这个空气阀它不是加气的吗？这里？加气你要打开阀门，那边阀门打开了没有？This device on the right side, to the right side. See here, the air pressure gauge. It is getting up. And this valve is for discharge. This valve, this one, this two is for the oil tank, the oil tank inlet. But if you want to suck material from the oil tank, first of all, you need to turn this device to the right. This one is for the tank of oil. See in the middle of the tank, the outlet has opened. And here, and next we turn this device. And this two is for the water tank, this two is for the water tank. And this two is for, this one is for the homogenizer, the time setting homogenizer. This one is the time setting for the dispenser. And it depends on the material you make. You can set the time you need for these two functions. And this one is for the oil temperature, water pulp temperature, main tank temperature. This is the voltage, and the homogenizer current, dispenser current, voltage. This one is for the material inlet. So, which if after you use it, maybe 2 days, 3 days, or 1 day, it depends on the material you make. If you make a lot of material, your production is big and you use the machine very frequently, so you will need to clean this one every day. So how to clean it? Just this valve. The water or the other material will all get out from this one and from here. And here, you can turn it off. 到那边，去那边。This valve is to clean out the waste water inside of the jacket, but you don't need to clean it very frequently. Maybe a week, 2 weeks, just because there's only some waste water after you use the steam heating function. So the water inside the jacket is very less. So you don't need to clean it very frequently. Okay.